Y llegamos al capítulo 5, al final. We are at the end of our course in chapter 5, capítulo 5, a divertirse, la música y el cine. So we're going to be talking about what we do to enjoy ourselves, to have fun with music and movies and dancing, música, el baile, el cine. Okay, a divertirse means let's have fun or let's enjoy ourselves. Okay, to say enjoy oneself, we have one verb which means divertir, which is divertirse. It happens to be what we call a reflexive verb. When we use the words themselves or myself or herself in English, those are reflexive pronouns. But in Spanish, the whole verb becomes reflexive. But we're not going to talk too much about that right now. But that's what it means. Let's have fun or let's enjoy ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to look at the content of what we're going to be looking at. We're going to discuss music and vocabulary for music, and we are going to practice pronouncing diphthongs and linking sounds, and identify people and things with demonstrative adjectives like this and that and these and those, and demonstrative pronouns, this one, that one, these and those. And the good news is that they are exactly the same. The adjectives and the pronouns are exactly the same. Okay, but we're going to see how we use them. We're going to look at adverbs to describe how something is done, and we're going to learn the present progressive tense to describe what is happening at the moment. Okay, we are going to also look at vocabulary for movies and television, and rank people and things with ordinal numbers like first, second, third. And we are going to learn the expression hay que, which means it states something that needs to be accomplished. Okay, something needs to be done. Okay, so hay que is an expression that we're going to use. And we are also going to look at direct object pronouns and the personal a that we learned a little bit about it in chapter 4 to express what or whom. Okay, direct object pronouns. Okay, muy bien. So let's get started with the vocabulary, the first section of vocabulary, comunicación 1, el mundo de la música. We're going to discuss music, and here we have vocabulary. We're going to start here at the top. Then we have El Teatro Nacional, Rubén Darío. Rubén Darío is a very famous writer from Nicaragua. We have El Músico, the musician, o la música. El tamborista, the drummer, el tamborista. El pianista, the pianist, el pianista. And you notice, you're going to notice a pattern here. The ista ending, tamborista, pianista, and well, we're going to look at others here. La orquesta, the orchestra. El tambor, the drum. La trompeta, the trumpet. And the person who plays the trumpet is el trompetista or la trompetista. And although it ends with an A, it's used for both feminine and masculine, okay? El trompetista o la trompetista. And the same with el pianista or la pianista. This would be the ending ist in English, okay? El tamborista o la tamborista. El piano, la música, the music. El empresario or la empresaria would be like the supervisor or like the manager. La gira mundial is when you go on a tour. That's called a gira, la gira. El conjunto, el concierto, the concert. El conjunto means like a group, a singing group. Okay. La artista, the artist, and it can also be el artista. La guitarra, the guitar. El artista, there it is. La batería, the batería. The percussion. Las grabaciones, the recordings. Las grabaciones. El baterista. Baterista is the one that plays the percussion instruments. Okay. El baterista or la baterista if it's a girl. La guitarrista, it's a girl, or if it's a guy, it's el guitarrista. El cantante, the singer, or el artista also, or la cantante. Okay? Muy bien. So the ending ista, artista, pianista, tamborista goes for masculine and feminine. Either way, if it's a girl, you say la, and if it's a guy, you say el. Okay? Muy bien. So that is, a lot of those are cognates. And here you have some more vocabulary for different kinds of music. Jazz, el jazz, la música clásica, la música folclórica, la música popular, la música rap, la ópera, el rock, la salsa. So this is very easy because they're all cognates or words that we have borrowed from English. Some adjectives here. Apasionado, passionate, or apasionada. Remember that adjectives have to agree in gender and number. Cuidadoso, careful, or cuidadosa. Fino, fine or delicate, or fina. Lento, slow, or lenta. Y suave, smooth. And some verbs: dar un concierto, to give or to perform a concert. Ensayar, to practice or to rehearse. Grabar, to record. Hacer una gira. Sacar un CD, to release a CD. Tocar, to play, a musical instrument. Remember in the last chapter we learned the verb jugar, which also means to play, but in that case it means to play games or sports. When we talk about instruments, we use the verb tocar, okay? And then some other useful words: el aficionado or la aficionada, okay? It means the fan. La fama, el género, la habilidad, the H is silent. La letra, the lyrics of a song, is la letra, okay? It's in the singular form. El ritmo, y la voz. Okay? Muy bien. You also have a note in my Spanish lab about diphthongs and linking. Okay? So you're going to do a little practice with that and some activities to practice with this vocabulary that we just have covered. Okay? To kind of get familiar and get acquainted. Conocer el vocabulario. See, that's when we use the verb conocer. Okay, so we are going to also cover los adjetivos demostrativos, okay? Identifying people and things. Demonstrative adjectives. And these are adjectives because they go together with nouns, okay? When you want to point out a specific person or a place or a thing or an idea, you use a demonstrative adjective, okay? Like this and that and these and those, all right? For example, esta mujer toca muy bien. Ese hombre toca bien. Y aquel hombre toca muy mal. Okay, so this one here, that one, and that one over there. Okay, farther away. So the demonstrative adjectives are este, esta, estos, estas. Okay, and you can see here that we have masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural. And it means this, singular, or these, the ones that are something that is nearby. Okay, from the perspective of the speaker, it refers to something that is nearby. So he says esta mujer because it's nearby. Now, when we want to say something that is farther away, we use ese, esa, esos, esas. And you see here the masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural. Okay, that these mean that and those over there. Something that is farther away. And something that it's even farther away in distance and or time, and perhaps not even visible, meaning that And those way over there, we say aquel, aquella, aquellos, and aquellas. So you have gender and number because these are adjectives and they have to agree in number and gender with the noun that they are modifying. Okay. So we have este conjunto es fantástico. Conjunto is singular and masculine, so we have to say este. This group right here is fantastic. Esta cantante, this singer, cantante can go for either masculine or feminine, but in this case we know that it's a girl because we use esta. Esta cantante es fenomenal. Or we could say esta muchacha or esta mujer, okay? Estos conjuntos son fantásticos. Estas cantantes son fenomenales. Cantantes would be here female singers because we're using estas. Okay? Now we go a little farther away. We use ese conjunto, that group over there. That group is fantastic. Esa cantante, esos conjuntos, esas cantantes. And that group over there, even farther away, aquel conjunto es fantástico, aquella cantante es fenomenal, aquellos conjuntos son fantásticos, aquellas cantantes son fenomenales. So everything that modifies the noun has to agree with it in number and gender, both the demonstrative adjectives and the adjectives that are describing. Okay, so these are the demonstrative adjectives that we use together with the noun that is present in the sentence. Okay, so we have a few activities with this for you to practice, and then we are also going to cover, because they're exactly the same, the demonstrative pronouns. You know that pronouns, los pronombres, pronouns are words that replace nouns. That's why they're called pronouns. Okay, so they replace a noun, so the noun doesn't have to be there because it's replaced by a pronoun, and they're exactly the same, so that's a good news. They're exactly the same, and it also has to agree in gender and number with the noun that it's replacing. Okay, so look at the examples here. Yo quiero comprar este CD. So this is an adjective. Este CD, pero mi hermana quiere comprar ese. Okay? So, I want to buy this CD, but my sister wants to buy that one. Okay? In English, you use two words. Okay? That one. In Spanish, we just use the pronoun by itself. I want to buy that one. Okay? ¿Te gusta esa guitarra? Do you like that guitar? No, I like this one. This one that is closer. No, a mí me gusta esta. Okay, so exactly the same, but in this case, we don't use the nouns because this word is replacing the noun. Okay, so remember that it has to agree in gender and number with the noun that it's replacing. Estos instrumentos son interesantes. These instruments are interesting, but I prefer to play those. Pero prefiero tocar esos. Okay, so exactly the same, except that one, the previous set are adjectives that go with a noun that is present in the sentence, and these are pronouns that are replacing the nouns. That's why the noun is not present in the sentence anymore. Okay? Muy bien, so that is it for today. You're going to do your activities, and tomorrow we are going to continue with adverbs, los adverbios. Entonces, hasta mañana. Chao. Vamos a continuar con el capítulo 5. Okay, we're going to continue with chapter 5, and we're going to look at adverbs, los adverbios, to explain how something is done. So an adverb usually describes a verb. Okay, that's why it's called adverb. Okay, and answers the question how. How is something done? Okay, so many Spanish adverbs end with the ending mente, which is the equivalent to the English ly ending, like quickly, slowly, beautifully. Okay, so these adverbs that end in mente are formed in the following way. You have to add the ending mente to the feminine and singular form of an adjective. Adjectives that have masculine and singular forms, first you have to put them in the feminine singular form, and then you just add mente to that adjective, okay? And it becomes an adverb. So for example, rápido is masculine, so you put it in the feminine, rápida, and then add mente, rápidamente, okay? Lento means slow, and it's an adjective, so you put it in the feminine form, lenta, and add mente, lentamente, and it becomes an adverb, okay? Slowly. Tranquilo is in the masculine form, so you have to put it in the feminine form, tranquilamente, tranquilamente. Now there are adjectives that work for, they have the same form for feminine and masculine. Those are the adjectives that end in a consonant or in an E. Okay, so for example, fácil and suave. In these adjectives, you just add the ending mente. You don't have to do anything to them. Okay, so fácil, just add the ending. Fácil plus mente, fácilmente. Suave, suave plus mente, suavemente. Okay, muy bien. If an adjective has a written accent, it will be retained when we add the ending mente. Okay, muy bien. So do your activities with adverbs, and we are going to start. I went too far. With the present progressive, el presente progresivo, which is a verb tense that we use to describe what is happening at the moment. Like in English we say it is raining, or I am studying, or she is coming, or they are talking, okay? So something that is in progress at the moment, that is happening at the moment, that is in progress, okay? So in English, you form this present progressive with a form of the verb to be. You have to conjugate to be. She is, they are, I am. Plus a present participle, which means the ing ending. In Spanish, we do the same thing, except that we have two to be verbs. So which one do we use? We use the verb estar, which is the one that we're going to have to conjugate, plus also what we el participio. Participio of the verb, which you have to know how to form that. Okay, so how do we form el participio? For verbs that end in AR, we are going to drop the ending AR, and the ending is going to become ando. So for example, if you have the verb cantar, to sing, this verb is going to become, we drop the ending and add ando, cantando. Okay, for verbs that end in ER or IR, either one, the ending is going to be yendo, yendo. So for example, we have comer, to eat, so we drop the ending and we add yendo, comiendo. Or a verb that ends in IR, vivir, to live, we drop the ending and add yendo, viviendo. Okay? So, muy bien. So, the verb estar plus el participio. Alright? Muy bien. So, here on the next page, we have some example. ¿Qué estás haciendo? What are you doing? Estoy ensayando. Ensayando. These are all AR verbs. I mean, except for this one. This one is an ER. Hacer. Hacer becomes haciendo. Ensayar becomes ensayando. Escuchar, escuchando. Tocar, tocando. Ver is an ER verb. It's viendo. Okay? Escribir, escribiendo. Okay? And we have to conjugate estar. Estás, estoy, está, están, okay? Estamos, plus el participio. ¿Sí? Okay, muy bien. So you have to do your activities to understand this a little better, and we come to the first ¿Cómo andas? Section, which you have to take a look at what we have been doing and see if there's something that you need to review or need help with, and please let me know, and I will be glad to explain things again for you. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Adiós. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hoy es miércoles y llegamos al fin, el último día. we made it to the end. Today is the last day where you have to do work. Well, this kind of work for the chapter anyway. So we are going to look at the new set of vocabulary when we talk about movies and TV shows. El mundo del cine. Cine, movies and television programs. Okay, so you have your vocabulary here. Una película, you know that word from the last chapter, a movie. Una película de humor, and there are a lot of cognates here. Una película de humor, like a comedy. It could also be comedia, una comedia. The word may be here, I don't know. Una comedia o una película de humor. Una película dramática, a drama. Una película de terror, a horror movie. La entrada, the ticket, la entrada. La pantalla, the screen. El actor, the actor. Y la actriz, the actress. Un documental, documentary. Una película musical, a musical. Una película romántica. Una película de misterio. Una película de ciencia ficción. Una película de acción. Una película de guerra, war movie. Y la estrella, the star. So there are a lot of cognates here. La estrella, the movie star. And here you have more useful words. El estreno, the opening. La película, the movie. Una película, a movie. Aburrida, boring, or aburrido. Here they're all in the feminine form because I think they're talking about movie. Aburrida, animada, conmovedora, creativa, deprimente, emocionante, entretenida, épica, de espanto, scary, estupenda, imaginativa, impresionante, sorprendente, de suspenso y trágica. These are all adjectives to describe movies. And some verbs, estrenar una película, to release a film or a movie, y presentar una película, to show a film or a movie. Okay, so that's your vocabulary. And after doing the activities to practice some with the new vocabulary, we are going to take a look at ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers indicate position in a series or or order. Okay, first, second, third. Okay, the first 10 ordinal numbers in Spanish are listed below here, and ordinal numbers above tenth, above decimal, are very rarely used. Okay, so it's good news because you just have to learn 10. Okay, so ordinal numbers are adjectives and agree in number and gender with the nouns that they modify. Okay, they usually precede the noun, so they come before the noun. Okay, so you have primer, and I'll explain here in a minute why we have primer and primero. So here you see that we have feminine and masculine, and we also have to have singular and plural if what we're talking about is singular and plural. Primero, primera. Segundo, segunda. Tercero, tercera. Cuarto, cuarta. Quinto, quinta. Sexto, sexta. Séptimo, séptima. Octavo, octava. Noveno, novena. Décimo y décima. And of course, if it's plural, we add the S, okay? So, they have to agree in gender and number. So, for example, we have, if you say el cuarto año, the fourth year. Year is masculine and singular. So, we say el cuarto año. La octava sinfonía, the eighth symphony. Sinfonía is feminine, so we're going to use the feminine form. La octava sinfonía. Now, when you have a masculine and singular noun, we use for first and third, we use the shortened form of primero and tercero without the O. So we say el primer concierto, the first concert, el tercer curso de español with masculine and singular nouns. Now, when do we use primero or tercero? Or primera, yes, primero or tercero. This is only with masculine, okay? So if we have a feminine noun, that doesn't happen, okay? So for example, I say primera semana, week. La semana is feminine. La semana, I will say primera. So we don't drop the A. La primera semana. Or la tercera semana. So only with masculine and singular forms and singular nouns. Okay, when it's plural, let's see, what example do we have here? El primer concierto. El primer concierto, see, we do have to drop it there because it's singular. But if I say the first concerts, I'm going to say los primeros conciertos. Okay, so we drop the O only when it's singular and masculine. Okay, now when it's plural and masculine, we don't. We also, when do we use the singular form of primero and tercero? Because we do use those. We use them when they are pronouns, when they are replacing the noun. So for example, I say, is this the first concert? If I say, sí, es este el primer concierto? See, we have to drop the O because we have a masculine singular form. But if I answer yes, it is the first one, okay? I'm not using the word concierto anymore. I'm saying it's the first one. I'm going to say sí es el primero, okay? So when it becomes a pronoun because it's replacing concert, I do use primero, okay? The same thing with tercero. Es este el tercer concierto? Sí, es el tercero. Okay? When it's replacing the noun. Okay? We use the whole form. Okay? I hope that makes sense. With the other ones, you just have to, that doesn't happen. So, cuarto, cuarta, and masculine or singular, masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Okay? After 10th, décimo, it's very rare to use cardinal numbers. So we say el piso 14 instead of saying the 14th floor. We say the floor 14, okay, or century 21, okay. El siglo 21, el piso 14. Okay, it's not common at all to use cardinal numbers after décimo, after 10th. Okay, muy bien. All right, let's keep moving. This last day, there's going to be a few more things that we need to cover. We're going to skip this part. I, que, we're not going to do this. And we're going to go to direct object pronouns, okay? Los pronombres de complemento directo y la a personal. We did cover a little bit about the personal a in the last chapter, okay? So what are direct object pronouns, okay? So direct objects receive the action of the verb and answer the questions what or whom. For example, I need to do what? You need to buy the ticket, buy the concert ticket, buy what? The concert tickets by Monday, okay? Yes, I do need to buy them. So them is going to replace, what is it going to replace? The concert tickets, okay? So this, them, is a direct object pronoun because it's replacing a noun, okay? What do you need to buy? I need to buy the concert tickets by Monday. I need to buy them, okay? So them is a direct object. I have to call whom? You have to call your agent. Yes, I have to call him. Okay, so them and him and her and me, and those are direct object pronouns. But this is in English. What happens in Spanish? The same thing happens in Spanish. When we are replacing, that's why they're called pronouns, because they replace nouns. So, for example, María toca dos instrumentos muy bien. Okay, María plays two instruments very well. You can say María plays them very well. So how are we going to replace dos instrumentos with a pronoun, a direct object pronoun? We're going to change it with los. Okay. So María los toca muy bien. Yes, María plays them very well. So los is replacing dos instrumentos. This is plural and masculine. Okay. And the second here. Sacamos un CD el 1 de septiembre. We're releasing a CD the 1st of September. So sacamos un CD. We're releasing it. That would be in English. How would it be in Spanish? This is singular and masculine. Okay. So lo sacamos en el 1 de septiembre. El 1 de septiembre. Okay. Instead of saying the whole thing again, instead of saying we are releasing the CD the 1st of September, we're going to use a pronoun. Okay, lo sacamos el 1 de septiembre. I don't know what my computer is doing here. Okay, so let's look at the third here. ¿Tienes las entradas? Do you have the tickets? ¿Tienes las entradas? And we can say, do you have them? Okay, las tienes. You have them. Las tienes. Notice, if you have been able to note the pattern here, that in English you put the direct object pronoun after the verb, and in Spanish we put it before the verb. Okay? Los toca, lo sacamos, las tienes. Okay, before the verb. Okay. No conozco a Benicio del Toro. Remember, with to know, when we are talking about a person, we have to use the personal a, la a persona. No conozco a Benicio del Toro. I don't know Benicio del Toro. I could say I don't know him. So instead of saying him, I'm going to say no lo conozco. No lo conozco. Okay? Lo is replacing Benicio del Toro. Okay? Siempre veo a Selena Gomez en la televisión. I always see Selena Gomez on television. Or I always see her in television. Siempre la veo. Okay, so notice here that we are putting the direct object pronoun before the verb. La veo, lo conozco, las tienes, los sacamos, los toca. Okay? So here are the pronouns for yo. The equivalent would be me. The one that is receiving the action. Me, it's spelled the same way, but it's not me, it's me. Me, te, lo, or la, for you. It depends on if it's a feminine or masculine. Lo or la. Nos, os, los, las, los, and las. Okay? Now, I told you that we put these pronouns before the verb, right? And it's correct. We put them before the verb. Now, when the verb is in the infinitive form or in the present participle that we learned yesterday with ando and yendo, so infinitive or the present participle, we are going to attach these pronouns to the infinitive, to the end of the infinitive, or to the end of the present participle. So, for example, ¿tienes los discos compactos? You can say sí, los tengo. Okay, so this goes before the verb. Now, tengo que traer los instrumentos. So, traer is in the infinitive form. And so we're going to replace los instrumentos. We're going to say I have to bring them. Okay? So, we can say los tengo que traer if the verb is conjugated. Los tengo que traer. Or tengo que traerlos. Okay? If we use the infinitive form here, we attach the direct object pronoun to the infinitive. Okay? We either put it before tengo, which is a conjugated verb, or attached to the infinitive. Either way, okay? Los tengo que traer or tengo que traerlos. Either way is fine. Tiene que llevar su guitarra. Tiene que llevar su guitarra. So if we put it before the verb, it has to be before the conjugated verb, right? La tiene que llevar, or we can attach it to the infinitive. Tiene que llevarla. Tiene que llevarla. So before the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive, okay? What about the present participle, the ando yendo? ¿Por qué estás escribiendo una canción para tu madre? So, estás escribiendo una canción. We're going to replace una canción with the direct object pronoun. Writing it, okay? So, we can either put the pronoun before the conjugated verb or attached to the yendo verb. So, for example, la estoy escribiendo porque es su cumpleaños. Or, estoy escribiéndola porque es su cumpleaños. Either way, okay? So, with infinitives or the present participle, we're going to attach the pronouns to those verbs, or they're going to go before a verb that is conjugated, okay? Muy bien. So, I think that is it. Do your activities. You are going to have quite a few today, so take your time and try to get as much practice as possible. And congratulations, you have made it this far. Felicitaciones. And I hope that you have been able to learn something. So thank you for being so patient with me and for working very hard. And good luck in your next classes and in everything that you are going to do next year. It's been my pleasure. Okay? Un placer conocerlos. Chao, hasta pronto.